I've been doing the cold showers. Haven't missed a cold shower since Santa Monica.
Amazing.
And I still don't enjoy them by any stretch of the imagination,
No.
but I love how they feel when I get out. But I'll tell someone I'm doing that and they'll say, no, I can't do that. It's just too cold. It's cold. I'm like, yeah, so it's cold.
Right.
Yeah, if you intermittent fast,
Right.
so you're a little hungry in the morning. So you're a little hungry. Like why does just because you're hungry mean that you have, like, I don't understand. And for me, that's been a liberating mindset with some of these things is we have these mental constructs. It's like, oh, well, if I'm hungry, then I absolutely have to eat. Or if that water's a little bit too cold, then I have to make it warmer. Why?
So we live in a world that we want to be as comfortable as we can. And we wonder why we have no growth. We wonder why when the smallest thing in our life gets difficult, we wonder why we cower and we run away. Because we are kind of living our whole life is set up that way. Our whole life is set up in the path of least resistance. We don't want to suffer. We don't want to feel discomfort. So the whole time we're living our lives in a very comfortable area. There's no growth in that.
You almost start to switch the whole way you look. If you're like, oh, cool.
Yes.
I have a fear around this thing. Oh, cool.
Gives me something else to tackle.
Gives me something else that's going to be another springboard
new
to an
challenge.
even better version of myself.
One of the things a hurdle I'm trying to cross over is I do have some limiting beliefs. I have some initial negative self-talk. He was saying he was considering doing a 100-mile road race, like running on his feet for 100 miles. And the first thought that popped in my mind was like, I can't do that. And I'm like, that's not a good mindset to have.
Yeah.
But see, my mindset now is if every day, if I'm doing a little bit of something that I fear, and fear might not be the right word, but a cold shower,
Sure.
or the intermittent fasting, or doing some of these other things, I'm gonna slowly over time, brick by brick, condition myself to be able to beat that mindset. And you are right, I might not be able to run 100 miles, but why would I give up before I've even given it a chance?
Sure.
And that's what I'm worried about myself, is that's the mindset that I have. So I'm trying to find a way to kind of inch closer to that. So at the very least, when he tells me something crazy he's gonna do, my initial reaction is I can't do that. It's gonna be, okay, let me consider that, or I'm gonna do that too. But I think these little step forwards are a huge help.
So for me, I realized that the reason I became 297 pounds is because that was comfortable. What was very uncomfortable was running. What was very uncomfortable was being on a diet. What was very uncomfortable was trying to face things that I didn't want to face. And I also realized when I was really big, I had no growth. Why? Because I was living comfortable. So I realized for me to find growth, I had to face all these different things that made me very, very uncomfortable. I wanted to start callousing my mind. I wanted to start becoming a better person. And how you become a better person, how you gain mental toughness, how you become the person you want to be, is constantly facing the things that you don't want to face. If you constantly run away from things that you don't want to face, how is there growth? How is there mental toughness? I can give you a class all day long about self-talk, visualization, eat an elephant one bite at a time. But if you're never putting yourself in a situation to actually practice these things, you're never going to grow. I can't put you out there we're all going through a battle in our mind. A warrior is not a person that carries a gun. The biggest war you'll ever go through is right between your own ears. It's in your mind. We're all going through a war in our mind, and we have to callous our mind to fight that war and to win that war.
You know, but as you start to tackle them, you start to shrink the universal fear and expand the universal love. I mean, I'm feeling the effects of that. Like,
sure.
It's happening, and everything gets a little bit more rosy colored, and the fear has a few less fucking spiders and barbed wire and stings to it because there's just less of it. There's less of it out there.
And you prime your day. Like, all right, I start my day doing a couple things I don't really want to do,
Right.
but I did it. And there's going to be a few more things today that I don't want to do, but oh well, throw them on the pile.
Taking a pebble out of the fear pile.
Yes, and putting it on the
throwing
other side.
Throwing it in the volcano to be emulsified into love.
Absolutely. And create some momentum.